Hello, Gary Champion, with a video you can completely disregard if you feel like it. I'm going to give it to you anyway, but if you say this guy's really nuts, that's okay. I mean, you probably say that anyway, but my wife loves me. Um, Dreams are dreamy, aren't they? So I'm going to introduce the video. Dreams are dreamy. And yet there's an element of reality to a lot of them that's kind of startling. And you're places that you've never been. I think dreams mostly occur that way. They get you out of yourself, and you're okay with a dream like that. Um, doesn't seem to bother us because we're born dreaming. Suspect we're dreaming when we're in the womb. We have moments where nothing's going on, and we just drift off and dream about maybe being born. I have no idea what a baby dreams about, but I do know they dream because their brains are fully functioning at a certain point. Maybe even before they're fully functioning, they begin to dream. Um, my life is mostly a dream state. I have very little reality in it. And I get by with it because I don't care. And anybody that does care, they're not stopping by. Gary, you want to go to the movies? No. So I live in a dreamlike state, and it works for me. I'm very happy to live in that state because what else would I know? I don't know any different. And at some point, it occurred to me a couple of years ago, but I didn't do a video about it, and I should have. But I've been talking about it a lot lately. So, um, the book I wrote, To the Other Side and Back, was very similar to a dream, except it was more dramatic. It was cleaner. The colors were brighter. The characters in them were not normal people. They didn't appear normal to me. And I've said, as I've said before, that I don't know if they were trying to project a exact image, and it just turned out that way, or they can't. They can't project what they actually look like at one time because the faces and the weird mustaches that don't, the hair's not growing. It's just crazy. Uh, no one can create a paint as wild as the grass or the sky or anything else. So it appears, although it wasn't because I was awake. These are trips to the other side I made while I was in a meditative state, but I was fully awake and pulled back, came out of the trip. I'm going to call it kind of trippy, although I've never used drugs. Someone says something about drugs. I don't have a clue what they're talking about. Never took a trip, but it is trippy. And it occurred to me at that time that they were dreamlike, but yet they were solid. I could feel my feet. I could touch things. Everything felt as though it were real and not dreamlike. Uh, and you can do it yourself. There's no harm to it if you can relax enough, if you can meditate enough. You can trip to the other side. They're waiting for you. Now, it scared you to death. Well, they would like you to visit, and this is why in dreams they come and tell you things. This is why in dreams you see your relatives, and they may appear normal, like they did in life, or they may appear to be, and maybe it's controllable better in a dream. You're not, you're sort of going to the other side. Spirit never leaves the body until death. Spirit can leave the body and go to the other side and be tethered to this side. I knew a guy once who could do it in college. I've never been able to do it except in the writing of this book. And the book was just a sideline. I was interested in going to the other side and coming back, seeing what was there. So that was the main purpose, not to write a book, but it ended up being a book. You're walking down the street and you see something, and boy, that'd make a good book. Or you don't. And maybe 10 days later you say, I could write a book out of that, which is usually what happens with me. Anyway, I think that during dream sequences or segments during the night, you actually do go to the other side. I don't know if that's frightening or not, but there's no danger to it. If someone were to shake you in the middle of the night and wake you up in the middle of a dream, you don't die, you don't pass away, you don't go to the other side. Oh my gosh, my soul's out of my body, my spirit's out of my body. I'm gonna no, because it's always tethered. And I've seen it. I've been shown that. And it must have to do with this video. But as you travel, there's a tether that connects your spirit to your body. And remember, only one spirit can occupy a body at the same time. There's only two spirits can't jump into your body and turn you into a zombie like the movies and television. There's a percentage of people out there, probably about 15% of the people who watch this Walking Dead stuff all the time, and they actually believe it. They've come to believe that that's reality. It's clearly made up. So you can be here and there at the same time. I doubt that if you're laying on a bed asleep that you're conscious of anything, that you're there, you're seeing and feeling and experiencing things that you couldn't do if you were here. Anyway, I think the reality is that our spirits do leave our bodies sometimes and experience wonderful dreams that we choose to forget or that we never forget. I've had dreams I've never forgotten that were so clear when I was a child that you wake up and walk around for a long time thinking, boy, am I back here? That was so real. The sounds, the smells, the actions, the facial reactions of people, the interaction is so real. That's because they made it that way. Your spirit leaves your body in a dream and goes to the other side. They can create scenarios and play them out for you. Why would they do something like that? Why would they take all the time and necessary and energy, and they are energy, but it must drain them to create these things and act them out? It's real simple. They want to help you. Especially if you're in the middle of a financial disaster or a personal issue or the breakup of a relationship. It seems that these dreams are really real and they're triggered by the other side seeing you in pain and they want to alleviate some of that. So in your dream, see if you can remember what they told you to do. It's good advice. They cannot give bad advice. They're sitting here. They can see the past, they can see now, and they can see the future. You can see this. You can see now. Maybe. So in a dream of your grandmother or your aunt, or in my case, many times, people I've never met, don't have a clue as to who they are, except they must be guides of mine. And I had a dream sequence once where it was a daydream where they introduced themselves. They were in a warehouse, and I had worked in a factory at one time, and it looked like I was taking a tour of a factory. And that's how they make it look like it's normal, so you won't pull yourself out of the dream. It looked like a normal dream for me. These things happened in factories all the time. You walk through a room and you inspect things and you try and make things better. And that was my job. So I'm doing that. And I don't remember what the product was. Might not have even been a product, but I was touring a factory to inspect it. And as I go up these little stairs and as I leave, I turn and look back and they're all laughing at me. And they give me this little wave and that's who I knew who they were. They introduced themselves in the dream in a daytime dream sequence. So if you see people in your dream that you've never met, that you haven't a clue about, that may be who they are. It may be scaring some of you, but there's no risk at all to you dreaming, your spirit leaving your body, going there, them telling you something, you coming out of the dream, taking that to reality and helping your life. It's always been there. Most people ignore it. And look for a lot of metaphors that maybe it's not clear. As in my case, wasn't clear. I was going through a warehouse inspecting something. I just thought it was a dream. Notice how conscious I was. I could feel my fingers and everything. So it was real. And then turned around and they all smiled. They were laughing at me, really. I didn't recognize who they were because I'd never seen them before. And they had thought, gee, can't you figure this out? This is a dream about us introducing ourselves to you. It was so cool. It's never happened since, but I can, as I close my eyes, I can see the scene completely. I mean, it's indelibly imprinted as though it were real, which it probably was. Enjoy your dreams. Bring back advice. Help yourself, because that's what they're trying to do. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.